This presentation provides a brief introduction to the topic of school readiness. It addresses two core questions. What is school readiness, and why is school readiness important? This presentation is related to evaluation and research supported by the First Five Commission of Santa Barbara County, which led to the development of the Kindergarten Student Entrance Profile, which is a universal school readiness assessment. First, and of great importance to all early childhood initiatives, is the question, what is readiness? Traditionally, readiness was considered a chronological benchmark that indicated it was time for the child to enter school. But as we know now, it is much more than that. Age is still used as an indicator for school entry, but in the past few decades, research has identified other factors that indicate whether or not a child is really ready to enter school. A very important one is school-ready knowledge or cognitive skills. Early developed cognitive skills are needed to succeed in school. Among the most important are pre-literacy and numeracy skills. Cognitive readiness can be observed when the child is able to write his or her name, identify shapes, knows colors, understands functions of numbers, and are able to represent quantity, and so on. These basic cognitive skills prepare the child for school and are the foundation of future academic success. Research has also shown that pre-academic cognitive skills is not the only factor that influences a child's readiness for school. Social-emotional factors are also key contributors to success. Social-emotional readiness may be observed in a child as the ability to clearly communicate needs, attentiveness and ability to follow instructions, pro-social behaviors, and the ability to resolve disagreements constructively. The child is able to get along with peers, teachers, and others. When it comes time to go to school, they are able to separate from their caregiver and show appropriate independence. And they can regulate their emotions when they become angry, upset, or do not immediately get what they want. Often considered with social-emotional readiness is the all-important behavioral readiness. This may be observed in the classroom as the child's ability to sit quietly and follow directions in order to benefit from the lesson being presented. Physical readiness looks to identify if there are any physical barriers for the child's learning in school. Do they have a chronic illness? Are there any vision or hearing problems that would interfere with their participation in the class? Now that we've identified 4 areas of readiness, we will discuss why each of these areas are important. Cognitive readiness is related to children's emerging academic skills, such as pre-literacy. This includes phonological awareness, for example, being able to recognize words that rhyme. It also includes numeracy, such as awareness of quantity or size. Research has shown that early academic skills strongly influence later academic success. They set the trajectory for academic performance at an early age. We know that poor readers at the end of first grade find it difficult to catch up to their more fluent reading peers. This has been called the achievement gap, and without intensive academic intervention, it can grow over the years. There is a need for intervention to build early literacy skills because they predict later reading and writing fluency. Early math abilities have been found to be the strongest predictor of both later math and reading abilities, and they predicted later reading better than early reading skills themselves. Finally, there is a substantial amount of research reporting that early academic difficulties are more likely to lead to later academic difficulties and higher risk for school failure and dropout. Social, emotional, and behavioral readiness are often studied together, and they are both important school readiness indicators. Emotional regulation, which is the child's ability to keep his or her emotions under control, predicts many positive schooling experiences and outcomes, such as increased classroom productivity and, importantly, achievement on standardized assessment scores. Poor emotional regulation also is associated with behavioral problems that disrupt learning opportunities. Another way that emotional regulation helps students is that it helps them to plan, regulate, and problem solve, and attend to a task in kindergarten positively related to school achievement at the end of the first grade. Second, behavioral problems are also related to poor classroom performance and lower scores on standardized math and literacy assessments. Preschool behavior was identified as a predictor of school readiness because children who show positive behaviors in preschool were seen as more sociable in kindergarten. In comparison, children who had more aggressive behaviors were more likely to be isolated by peers and to be viewed as angry and aggressive by kindergarten teachers. It is important for children to know how to problem solve, work well with peers, and react appropriately to situations. The manner in which the transition from preschool to kindergarten is handled is very important. Teachers need to have information about cognitive, behavioral, social-emotional, and physical development of their new students. Students need to feel welcomed and included in their new classroom and school. This process influences the students' attitudes about schools and lays the foundation for student engagement and academic success. In addition to cognitive and social-emotional functioning, a child's physical well-being greatly impacts school readiness. Physical health is comprised of nutrition, physical activity, strength, and motor development. Allergies, dental caries, and ear infections are common health problems that significantly impair a child's learning. Untreated physical elements make it difficult for a child to achieve his or her highest potential. Children with poor health have problems sitting still and focusing in class. In addition to facing physical limitations, children who are not in prime physical condition are often treated differently than their healthy peers. They may be encouraged or given the opportunities to explore their environment because they could become hurt or ill. For more information about school readiness and the Kindergarten Student Entrance Profile, or KSEP, please see the web page listed above. You will also find at this website one-page summaries of this presentation. Should you need other information, please email us at the address listed above. Thank you.